I heard you want to get good at Broken Arrow, improve your game, grow your brain, and achieve self-actualization. Within this video, you'll find the secret sauce to win that 4v5, assert dominance, and T-pose menacingly over your enemies. What I've compiled are my 10 best tips ranked by priority that can be applied to any game mode. Whether you are a PvE comp stomper or a PvP brawler, this video is built for you. Now strap yourselves in, because here we go. Starting off with number 10, front towards enemy. I'm not talking about pointing the front armor of a tank towards your enemy. That's obvious. I'm talking about pointing your camera and eyeballs towards your enemy. Because of how vision works in Broken Arrow, it's incredibly important to keep your camera facing towards your opponent's side of the field. This way you can spot artillery, cruise missiles, planes, and whatever else is coming your way. While you should take glances at your flanks and back line, you should get used to always pointing your camera toward the enemy's spawn points. You might only see a unit pop up for a fraction of a second, and you'll need to be looking in that direction if you want a chance at receiving that valuable information. In this example on Dead End, I was able to call out a cruise missile nuke that was headed towards Allied forces. With enough time, my team was able to turn their radar on and intercept the nuke before disaster. It might seem like a small detail, but it's amazing how much of a difference it makes to be facing your camera the right direction. I constantly have to remind myself to do the same, because when I've tunnel visioned on a specific part of the map, well, let's just say that I felt it. Number 9. Logistics and supply. Having a proper supply line is crucial in Broken Arrow. Your units will run out of ammo, break down, and need to be topped off on supply. So to start with, make sure you have logistics vehicles in your deck. Faster logi is generally better, and you'll need at least one type of supply vehicle. Preferably, bring some helicopters that can transport supply as well. As for actually placing the supply, spread it out. Do not pile it all together. I generally have 2 or 3 supply piles for various units. Supplies for helicopters and artillery can be further back, while frontline vehicles and infantry have their own. This is for quickly and efficiently supplying appropriate units, and to not draw attention to a specific area. Ideally, keep your supplies hidden in forests and away from common enemy paths. The more forward the supply pile, the smaller the pile should be, as it poses a greater risk of discovery and detonation. For the love of all that is holy, do not fire from supply. I see way too many new players do this, and they end up losing both their artillery and their supply. Yes, it's convenient, a convenient way to scatter your unit's ashes. If you think your supply location has been compromised, move it. You can use a logistics vehicle to easily pick up and move supplies. This is especially important if your enemy has gotten a drone overhead and you can assume all supplies are compromised. Good practice is to queue up a move order away from supply to ensure they don't stay a juicy target. As for moving supplies quickly, rebinding the unload key will be crucial. Which brings us to number 8, the unload and laser hotkeys. There's many useful hotkeys in Broken Arrow, and these two are so useful they need to be rebound. Unload by default is bound to U and should be rebound to the F key. The fast move order can simply be given by using a double right click, so you can easily pursue fleeing enemies. Switching the unload key will let you rapidly drop supplies and troops, which will make your life easier, so you can focus on more important things, like laser designation, one of the most underutilized mechanics in Broken Arrow, letting you knock out key targets from a different area code. How about a magic trick? I can make this helicopter disappear. The setup to the prestige is satisfying, but what if I told you all of this is possible in a fraction of the time? Rebind the laser hotkey to a side mouse button. If you don't have a side mouse button, get one. This will allow you to make last-second laser corrections, which is an absolute game changer and satisfying as hell. As you can see on screen, you can dynamically change laser designation to get extra damage out of an artillery strike. Normally, I wouldn't consider artillery an effective anti-air weapon, but with a laser, anything is possible.
Nice.
And the single best example I have of this was an actual last-second correction to a cruise missile. While originally for the infantry and the high-rises, the T-90 Arena never saw it coming. So make sure to use your hotkeys and rebind these two, lest you want to end up like my buddy. Not only does he not use hotkeys, but we found out he's been playing Broken Arrow one-handed, and people wonder how he earned the title Goon King. At least try using WASD Austin. Number 7. Control groups. Control groups are all about speed, so it's important to reserve them for units that need a quick reaction time. Here are the 3 most important control groups. 1. Anti-air. Finding all your radar-capable anti-air is important, as you'll need to quickly react to enemy seed missiles. Instead of scrambling to click on your anti-air, bind them all to Control Group 1. That way you can quickly press 1, then Z, to deactivate radar before seed can hit. 2. For artillery. Artillery is important to bound to Control Group 2 so that you can react to spotted targets quickly. This can be for counter battery against enemy artillery, supply depots, or just a good cluster of units, saving you those precious seconds so you can strike while the target is stationary. 3. For helicopters. Helicopters are fast, fragile, and demand more attention than other units. They're great for quick response, provided they are microed well. Being the highly maneuverable glass cannons they are, get them into a control group. A properly microed helicopter at low altitude can be absolutely devastating and quite difficult to counter. Dropping your helicopters quickly is the difference between a happy helicopter and a dead helicopter. Don't forget to spam flares as well to maximize your helicopter's chances of survival. After that, it's up to you, but these 3, essential. Number 6. Stay mobile. A unit that keeps moving is difficult to track down and will help keep your opponent guessing. While applicable to every unit type, this point is most relevant to artillery and long-range anti-air. High-cost, fragile units that can be targeted by artillery and aircraft. After firing, adjust position. You don't need to make a significant move, just a small shift will do to avoid enemy counter battery. For anti-air, you might not be aware they fired and revealed their position. If you are unsure, check the ammo count on your anti-air units to know if they fired recently. From my experience, a stationary unit is a dead unit. Infantry are quite vulnerable to all kinds of artillery, so make sure to shuffle them to nearby buildings if you think they have been spotted. Otherwise, they might not be there next time you look. And for my last point in this section, don't loiter in capture points. As soon as you start capturing a point, move all unnecessary units away. Only 1 unit is necessary for capture, and more units does not speed up the process. For example, if you have a cluster of vehicles that captured a point, move them out as soon as the area is clear. This is a lesson I've learned from experience, and my friends gently reminded me that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Hey guys, stay away from G.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh!
Yeah, stay away, alright.
Commander, are you okay?
Number 5. Refund Units. In Broken Arrow, every deployed unit drains your income, so naturally, you should only deploy what you are going to actively use. However, you might run into the issue that you have a unit on the field that hasn't done anything useful for 20 minutes. If you have units you are not actively using, refund them. Units are worth 90% of the points spent if sent back at full health, minus any spent munitions. Even at 1 HP, they are still worth a 50% refund, so not only can you get a significant amount of points back instantly, but you'll also boost your passive income by refunding. This should go without saying, but rescue your pilots. Not only are they worth a hefty amount of points when you save them, they also won't get added to the enemy's kill points. Speaking of pilots, aircraft are not your cheap one-way taxi like in Battlefield. You should never, and I mean never, throw your planes away. They are the single most expensive unit type in the game, and you should make every possible effort to keep them alive. Hell, I've refunded my planes instantly several times because I realized the AA network was too thick. As tempting as it is to fuck it we ball, I'd rather dodge the wrench.
What a fucking drop.
Good fucking cluster strike.
So if you want more points, refund those units. Simple as. Number 4. Recon. Recon wins games, as generally speaking, you have to see your enemy before you can shoot them. What makes a good recon unit? Vision range, stealth, and laser designation. For infantry, snipers fill the ideal recon unit role, with 2000 vision, 3.0 stealth, and laser equipped. Recon vehicles can have up to 2400 vision, although have significantly worse stealth rating than infantry at 1.25. To clarify how stealth works, when checking to see if a unit is visible, the spotting unit's vision range is divided by the stealth rating of the target, so a unit with 1200 vision would need to be within 400 meters to spot a unit with a 3.0 stealth rating. And that's before we take the environment into account. Recon units are generally weaker than typical combat units, and so so a good stealth rating is essential. There's two main ways to use Recon, as frontline spotters and for backline infiltration. A frontline spotter will generally move with your other units to help pick out long-range targets and assist in combat. Infiltration Recon, by contrast, is not intended to engage in combat at all, and instead get as far into the enemy backline as possible, where they can spot units, laser designate, and serve as early warning systems. When going for infiltration, it's imperative that you switch your Recon to return fire, and keep them away from typical enemy paths. Do not keep them near roads, and ideally, find a nice bit of woods for them to hang out in. When hidden in woods, it's amazing just how close you can get without being spotted. Done properly, you might even get some accusations. Combined with laser designation, a properly placed Recon unit can win the game for your team. Number 3. Unit Variety. Variety is the spice of life, and we all know spice must flow. The cream must be cropped. And for fuck's sake, don't just spam BMPs. Unit Variety is a very quick way to tell an experienced player apart from whatever this is. Not only is a single unit type easy to counter, but it's also predictable. Like in this game, I know for a fact I'll be seeing more BMPs, and so can bring in the ideal counter for them. When deploying your own troops, keep this in mind and select a combination that will complement each other well. Having proper defense against helicopters, for example, is essential to any ground push. Don't believe me? Well, you can watch what happens to an armored column that didn't bring any anti-air. You can see, it's not like I have a lot of units on the field. All of them are marked in green. They are serving very specific purposes and complementing each other. They are spaced apart in a way that allows them to cover each other, depending on what they run into. When it comes to unit variety, a good portion of this is building a deck properly, making sure you have anti-air, diverse infantry, seed if possible, good logistics, etc. By all means, lean into your favorite unit, just make sure that it's not the only thing you bring to the field. Number 2. Attack Move. Attack Move is one of the most basic orders in the game, which makes it essential to use properly. Attack Move can be used to manage distance, as well as finding excellent angles of attack. In this example, I have 2 frontline tanks soaking up damage. To support them, I'll queue up several Attack Move orders for the Comanche helicopters. Notice the path that I draw for them. This will keep the helis out of harm's way and make sure they look for the best angles to fire from, as the line of sight can be tricky with lots of woods. Using attack move is essential to getting the most out of helicopters, making sure they prioritize attacking the enemy while still managing distance. With some clever attack move orders, you can engage with side strafe movements. When it comes to vehicles, attack move can help in urban environments by getting precise angles. This way your vehicles can remain safe from ATGMs while still engaging their primary target between buildings. As for infantry, sometimes it's important to keep it simple, hold position, and let them deploy their heavy weaponry. Really, attack move is a fundamental piece of your kit that you should be using every game. There's times when moving is the priority and a normal move order is the right call, but you'd be surprised at how often you get the edge if you issued an attack move. That way you can make sure your units are staying safe while still bringing their full firepower to bear. This is especially true when it comes to units that need to be stationary to fire. Attack move. Learn it and use it. Number 1. The right stuff is our most important point. Really that simple? Yes and no. Obviously you want to create a proper deck with options that will let you be flexible in the field. Although this isn't about building decks, that's another video. What I'm really getting at is making sure you are picking the right units at the right time for the right purpose. You might have a favorite unit, but your favorite unit might not be what's needed on the field. Taking into account what deck your opponent is using, what units they have deployed, and the best way to counter those units is what you should be thinking about.
I just wish he knew.
Obviously you won't know exactly what your opponent is going to do, but you can start picking up clues. Like if you see an entire enemy team playing US Special Forces, prepare for a cheese opening to counter their fighters, seed, and AC-130s. Sure enough, that exact situation has happened before, and our team was able to stop it. Yes, there are units I would have liked to start with, but being able to adapt to your opponent is key. This comes with every unit, and especially with ground units. You have to plan ahead. You should be thinking about how you're going to use that unit 10 minutes after you call it in. I've seen a lot of players panic purchase units. where they call in 3 anti-air units that they needed 5 minutes ago. By the time those anti-air units actually get to the front line, they're sitting around doing nothing. When calling units in, take your time. I can't stress this enough. Really think about if you need that unit, how many of that unit, and is it going to be useful by the time it arrives at its destination. There's also the scenario that you already found the secret sauce, and your currently deployed units are exactly what you need. In that case, instead of calling in additional units, bring supply to the front line to keep those units healthy, and consider using micro to efficiently engage, rather than blobbing up units. Having more units on the field means your tension and micro are getting split between them. I get punished for my lost units in Broken Arrow for the same reason as our wedding anniversary. I forgot about them. So instead of throwing numbers, try using the right tool for the right job. Like, yeah, you can use a helicopter to kill AA, but there's probably better options. Unless of course it's Stingers. They put the forget in Fire and Forget. As the moment they leave the tube, they forget what they were firing at. Broken Arrow is an awesome game. There's a lot to learn and the mechanics are well put together. What's featured in this video is only a small piece of what you need to master the front line. If there's anything you think I missed or would like to contribute additional tips, post them in the comment section. Everything is appreciated. A huge thanks to my patrons for generously funding these videos and making sure the puppers stay fed. Steel Balalaika for making this awesome game and continuing to improve it with every patch. I've been enjoying Broken Arrow a lot. It's just a really good time. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you found any of these tips helpful. Alright my friends, I'm IroncladLion, and thanks for watching.
I laser target requesting artillery on that position.
What a fucking... I have never...
Oh yeah, baby! Oh yeah!
I think I just peed my pants.
Oh, that was. I mean, it was effective.
That was in full effect.
Holy shit. God damn, that's fucked up. That's hella fucked up.